Hi, I'm here today at the Chevy Chase Cosmetic Center to see Allison Wagner. She is going to give me a cosmetic filler treatment. She's going to discuss with me some of the things that I would like to do some improvement on. And I'm really looking forward to my visit here today.
All right, I think we're good.
Hello, Rona. How are you today?
I'm very excited today.
Excellent. What brings you in today to see me?
Well, I've noticed these really fine lines that are showing up lately, and especially like around here too. And other things that I've noticed, I'm starting to develop some bags under here. Not sure if it's something that needs to be treated or not, you know, but I'd like you to take a look and tell me what you think.
Sure. So what we're going to focus on here, Rona, is we're going to focus on all of these real fine lines right on the perioral area, right around here, as well as some on the cheeks, and even some of her fine lines above the lip. And then what we'll do is we'll apply a topical numbing cream to these areas that will let it sit so it makes you know, the procedure a little more comfortable for you. So I'm going to cleanse the skin, and then I'm also going to apply a little alcohol and some special Hibiclens soap on the skin just to prevent any kind of infections. Any history of cold sores at all? Great. And people who are more prone to cold sores, sometimes it can bring one up. So what we can always do if that ever occurs is give you some Valtrex preventatively. And we are going to be injecting the Restylane Silk into your skin. In our practice, we actually tend to use a lot of products in the Restylane and Juvederm family. The reason being they're hyaluronic acid products, which basically means that if for some reason you didn't like the product, or if you were having an allergic reaction to the product, we could easily reverse the product. So I'm going to prime my needle. And just stay nice and relaxed, Rona. I'm going to go ahead and start injecting. How are you doing here, Rona?
Good.
Feeling a lot of discomfort at all?
No, not really.
Good. This could hurt a little more. It's right on the lip area. I'm going to go right up here. Sorry, Rona. Again, inject into these fine lines. You're feeling okay, Rona?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Let me walk to the other side here. And again, we're using the Restylane Silk on Rona. The reason why we're using the Restylane Silk is I like it because it's a very thin hyaluronic acid product, meaning the size of the hyaluronic acid molecule is very, very small. It is perfect for really fine lines. If you get too thick of a product into the lines, it's going to look very lumpy and bumpy once it settles out, and it's going to look very noticeable. And what we are trying to do here is to make it look very natural, which is very important. A lot, you know, she has only very few lines on the upper lip, but it's really good for someone who has had smoker lines. But you definitely have some really great, she has excellent skin. And how old are you, Rhonda?
I'm 66.
Great, you have excellent skin.
Thank you.
All right, Rhonda, it looks like you did an excellent job here with the injections around the mouth. I think what we could do, because we have a little more of the product left, I see you have some what we call tear troughs, which is a little bit of the hollowing out underneath the eyes. And I think it would probably, the silk is a really nice fine product that we can put there. So would you like to do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Just one thing you always have to let patients, or I always like to let my patients know, is many times this can sometimes create a lot of bruising under the eye area, so people just have to just be. Here we go. If you want to go take a look. So already the hyaluronic acid, you know, it will start to plump up the skin. However, you know, with some of the needle marks and things, that will of course take a couple days to dissipate. You can use some topical arnica gel I recommend that will certainly help to make the bruises dissipate faster.
Okay.
You can use for some of the swelling, which can happen a lot with the Restylane Silk.
Take this down.
Nothing to worry about, but you can use, what I really like to use are get some frozen vegetables, especially frozen peas. They can really form really nicely to the skin. And just do that, maybe for the next, hour or two, over the course of, after you get home today. And also too, no heavy exercising, don't drink alcohol, avoid the sunshine, at least for 48 hours. Okay, Rona?
Will do.
Great.
Thank you very much.
You are so welcome,
Thank
Rona.
you.
Sure, my pleasure. Hello, Rona. How are you today?
I'm great, Allison. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, thanks. So I was looking through our iPad to look at your pre-pictures, and I know we took some post pictures as well, and I do you like what you see?
I see a really dramatic difference, yes. I was very pleased with the differences in the smoothness in my skin and the plumpness. But I did have a couple things I wanted you to take a look at.
Absolutely.
The fine wrinkles here, I think I might need a little bit more, and up on my forehead, these wrinkles here.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I know that we did 2 syringes of the Restylane Silk 2 weeks ago when you came initially. And I think maybe what we'll do, because I know you wanted to be a little conservative being your first time, that I think you could definitely benefit from another syringe of silk to help with these, as you mentioned, these fine lines here. And I know we did a little bit under your eyes too, which looks a lot better, but as you said, it came down a little bit, so we could always add a little under the eyes. And then another product that I like to use, so we don't use any kind of filler products for the kind of above face, for the forehead and around the eyes. We like to use Dysport, which is one of my favorites, and it is actually a form of botulinum toxin that's very similar to the Botox, and that is really nice because that will help to soften these, as you said, the forehead and the glabella or the frown furrow around here and some of the fine lines around the crow's feet. So we can certainly do that for you today.
Oh, that's very exciting.
All right, Rona, you should be numb by now, so I'm going to go ahead and remove your numbing cream. And I'm very glad that you came back. Again, I like to be a little conservative when I'm placing my fillers, just so it looks like a more natural look. So again, the fact that we need to do a 3rd syringe, is great. We can it'll certainly help to reduce these fine lines on your cheek and help with the tear troughs under the eyes. And then of course we'll do your Dysport.
Wonderful.
Okay, Rona, I'm gonna go ahead and inject some of these fine lines for you. How are you feeling, Rona?
Fine.
Perfect. I love the topical numbing cream. It really takes away a lot of the discomfort. So 2 weeks ago when we did your first 2 syringes, did you have a lot of bruising?
No, I had a little minor under my left eye and just a tiny little bit on my chin to the side here. But the cream that you had suggested that I use on my skin, what was it? I can't remember.
Arnica gel.
I went and got some of that at the store, and that really seemed to help a lot.
Great. Great, Rona. It looks really good. I think we're done with the right eye. As you can see, the difference between the right and the left eye. We've already filled in the area, the tear trough, a little bit around the orbital area, which is over in this area around the eye. And the nice thing, so the silk, we don't like to overfill the area because over the next couple hours, the body will recruit water because this is a hyaluronic acid product, and then it's going to plump the area up like a sponge. So then it'll fill in the areas for you.
Great.
Tell us, if you can tell me, how does it feel when I do the injections under the eyes?
It's a pressure. Like I can almost feel it going in, but it's not painful.
Great.
Yeah, so it's okay. It's tolerable.
That's excellent. A lot of patients of mine, they almost think it could feel very, when I think about doing under the eyes, they assume it's going to be more painful than the other areas.
I
but
think, well, the numbing cream,
that helps.
definitely helps, but no, it's not that kind of a pain. Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad you're having a positive experience. All the way down to the periosteum, which is actually to the bone, because you want to keep this nice and deep, so therefore it looks more natural. If you get too superficial with the injections, it's going to give a grayish hue to it, and then it's going to look very unnatural, which we do not want. Here you go, Rona. This is the before picture 2 weeks ago, before we did any of the Restylane Silk.
Such a huge difference.
Yes. I think you're going to be very excited.
My skin even appears healthier
Yes.
because it's got more hydration. I guess.
Filling in the lines, you're right. Hydrating the skin with the Restylane Silk, which is a hyaluronic acid product.
I didn't think that at my age that I could really look that much younger because I have a young look, but I look much younger.
You look much younger. You look incredible.
It's really amazing.
All right, Rona, we are ready to go on to the Dysport, which again is a member of the Galderma family. Same thing as the Restylane Silk. And we don't usually numb for the Dysport injection because we use a very, very tiny tuberculin syringe, and it basically is very, very minimal discomfort.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm ready.
So I'm going to have you go ahead and ice a little bit right here in the middle. I'm going to do the center, what we call the 11s, or the frown furrow in the glabella area of the face.
Okay. Are the results of this instantaneous or?
Very good question. So with the Dysport, it can actually take up to about 2 weeks for the full effects to be realized. Each and every day you'll notice it will probably become harder and harder to make those certain movements around your face. But again, some people, one thing I do find, some of my patients think the Dysport gives a more natural look, and also too, it works a little bit faster than some of the other botulinum toxins.
Oh, okay.
So with the Dysport, how they work is it helps to weaken the muscles and make it so that you cannot move a certain area depending on how much you put in those muscles. And Dysport still lasts about 3 months. Unfortunately, they're not a permanent solution. But again, usually about 3 to 4 months is how long the Dysport lasts, which is the same, very similar to the other botulinum toxins. That's good. Okay. All right, so just keep your eyes closed. And you can breathe in. It's going to be a little pinch, followed by a crunch. That crunch is very normal. That crunch feeling, which can be a little bit strange feeling, is actually the needle going into the muscle. All right, I'm going to do a couple more. And then smile for me again, Rona. Okay, the first signs. All right, Rona, so we're all finished with the Dysport and the Restylane Silk syringe. So what we'll do, we'll let this settle for a few weeks, and then we'll have you come back, and then we will go ahead and treat the IPL, the broken capillary over there for the IPL. So
Good.
You did great, alrighty?
It was wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm so happy.
Well, you're so very welcome.
Thank you. I feel 30 years younger. I look probably 10 to 15 years younger. The treatment has been wonderful. It has been gradual, so gradual that I'm so looking forward to seeing my before and after pictures.
Hi, Rona, how are you today?
I'm very excited today.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I know we have already done 3 syringes of the Restylane Silk, and I know last visit we added a little bit of Dysport to help with your forehead lines and crow's feet and glabella, and it looks so good. What do you think? How do you feel?
I'm really excited about it, but I can't wait to see the before and after, because for me it was so gradual, which was really a good thing for me. I didn't want it to be shocking, but I know this is going to shock me.
Are you ready, Rona? Here it is.
Jeez. That's really amazing.
And look here, Rona. There's another picture. You can really see down and through here, and especially see how right here the marionette lines have just been lifted up.
Yeah.
Oh, and look at this picture. Look how incredible that looks.
Yeah, it really is different.
Wow.
One picture I look so sad, and the other picture I look so how I feel.
That's awesome.
Outside in, inside out.
Wonderful.
It's beautiful.
I'm so happy.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So it's been a month since my last treatment with Allison, and I am so happy with the results and pleased with myself that I went through this journey. I turned 66 last November, and the issues that I was having was I live a very young life, and I had developed these lines on my outer lips that made it look like I was always frowning. My eyes always looked very tired. So people thought that I was tired or unhappy when I really wasn't. So this has given life to my face. So now I look the same way from the outside in as I do feel from the inside out. And I've never really had an issue with aging because I feel like I've earned, my face. But this makes me feel so much better about moving forward in the world because of the way not only that I perceive myself, but the way that now I'm being perceived by others. So looking forward to the next 10 years of my life.